Hello everybody, Jardis here. Yes, that is me dressed as the Mad King for Halloween. Wahaha, I'm feeling kind of spoopy today. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a new Vindicator build that I have really enjoyed the past few weeks because it is high DPS and boon duration. Now, with the Vindicator build, you will be doing a lot of dodging, which means that not only will you be evading a lot of attacks, but because of the way that this build is set up, each time you land with an attack on your dodge, you will not only add boons to yourself as well as allies around you, but dealing some decent damage. Now, I want to show you how this build works. First off, let's get into the gear. For the gear, we will be using Berserker stats, which is power, precision, and ferocity. We will also be using the superior Rune of the Fireworks in order to increase our boon duration as well as our overall power. For the primary weapon, we will be using a Greatsword, again with Berserker stats, power, precision, and ferocity, with superior Sigil of Frailty and superior Sigil of Force. Now, as an alternative ranged suggestion, we could go short bow, again with power, precision, ferocity, with force and vitality sigils. Now, the trinkets will also be Berserker stats, but if you can't get a hold of any of the Ascended gear, go ahead and go for the Ruby set, which is easier to find in the trading post. Again, it's power, precision, ferocity. And we will be using the Relic of Isgarren, because after evading an enemy's attack, which we will be doing a lot of, place the Eye of Isgarren on them for 6 seconds. You will gain 10 strike damage and condition duration against enemies with the Eye of Isgarren. Basically, what that means is every time we dodge and evade an attack, they will be getting a mark on them, which will increase our overall power and condition duration onto those marked enemies. And we will be doing that a lot. Now, for the actual build itself, we will be going Salvation, Invocation, and Vindicator. For Salvation, we will be taking Eluding Nullification. The end of your dodge roll removes conditions from nearby allies. And basically, this is just a condition cleanse. Excuse me. We will be taking Resilient Spirit. Periodically gain barrier for each unique boon you have. Now, the way this build is set up, every time we do a dodge roll attack, we will be granting ourselves various boons, so this will trigger constantly. And we will be using Unyielding Devotion. Take reduced strike damage for a duration after healing. Lasts longer if you heal allies other than yourself. Basically, this is more of a survival trait. We will not be using our heals very often, but we will be granting regeneration during our dodge rolling to our allies, so therefore we can increase our strike damage just a little bit. Now for the invocation, we will be using Rising Tide. While your health is above the threshold, strike damage dealt is increased. Now, because we are doing a lot of dodging and evading, chances are we're not going to be hit very often, which means we will be getting our our health total above that threshold. We will be using Incest Response. Gain might when you grant yourself Fury. Now, again, we will be giving ourselves a lot of boons, so chances are we will be giving ourselves Might and Fury as we do our dodge attacks. And then finally, Roiling Mist. Critical hit chance is further increased while you are under the effects of Fury. Well,
Victor and I were somewhat famous back in the day. We also conquered a god.
Correction. Shiro thought he was a god, but I assure you he was not.
What's the difference?
I do apologize for that. I would prefer to have the dialogue continue on, so I don't have to talk over them. Anyway, as I was saying, the critical chance is further increased while we are under the effects of Fury. We will be getting Fury quite often with the Incest Response. Now for the Vindicator, we will be taking Leviathan Strength. Deal increased damage while your endurance is not full. Our endurance basically is this bar up here. This allows us as many dodges as we can get whenever a bar is full. But because we're dodging constantly, chances are this will not be full, so therefore we will be getting increased damage. Song of Arboretum. Grant vigor to yourself and nearby allies after dodging. Vigor has an increased effect on you. Well, believe it or not, again, when this resilient spirit is triggered by each unique boon we have, and Song of Arboretum just gives us vigor, which is another unique boon, therefore triggering resilient spirit even more. And then finally, Imperial Impact. Drop from above, delivering a powerful attack to enemies while granting boons to allies. Basically, this is a must for this build because we will be granting not only allies to our boons to our allies, but boons to ourselves as well. Now, to show you how this build works, I am currently in the Setong province, which is part of the End of Dragons expansion. I am north of this hero point, which is northwest of the village waypoint. And the reason why I'm going after this particular hero point is because it is guarded by an elite mob, which just so happens to be one of the daily wizard vault achievements to defeat one elite enemy. And this one is always considered an elite, so we'll just go ahead and take him out while we're thinking about it. Happy Halloween, buddy.
Urge to kill rising.
Now, as you can see, we're already up to 10, 15 stacks of mines. And all we did do is dodge and use Scavenger Burst, excuse me, because Scavenger Burst refills your endurance bar every time you use it, which also deals damage to our enemies. And every time we're dodging, we're giving ourselves boons as well as boons to our allies as well. As you can see, I'm at 25 mines. And there you go. That is how you do this particular build. I hope you enjoy. And feel free to share this information with anybody else who's interested in creating a Death from Above Vindicator build. And I hope to see you guys again in the near future. Until then, happy gaming.